I want to be working with Shah Rukh Khan and Amir Khan and all the Khans and the Kapoors. But beyond that, I find happiness. That might happen, might not happen. But here I am, being a woman, being an actor's daughter, breaking these boundaries and able to speak my mind. You know how, do you know just that, how big that is?
Yeah,
for me to have an opinion and speak my mind and say, this is how I want to live life. So I think we're breaking barriers, and we as women need to hold our shoulders strong, because we are standing on the women who held the ground strong.
True.
So we just need to be strong for the other women to stand on our shoulders. You know? Hi, this is Lakshmi Manchu. You're watching me on Mirchi Plus.
Hi, this is Samina, Shaikh here, और मेरे साथ में एक है South sensation. I would call her South sensation also, and such a renowned personality is just sitting next to me, welcoming Lakshmi Manchu on Mirchi Plus.
Thank you.
And she's full of enthusiasm and energy, and her energy is so radiant and positive that I can feel that vibe right now.
Oh, thank you.
So welcoming
You're
her
kind.
on board right now. I'm so glad to see that, you know, film like Monster has created such a good noise in front of everyone, for that matter, and people have loved it. You know,
Samina, just hearing you say that, I've got goosebumps, because I was very, very nervous doing this film for many reasons. First of all, it's Mohanlal sir's movie. Who's going to see anybody else other than him when you're in the film? But the excitement of doing a film with him and doing a new language, and then when I heard the script, I was like, what's daddy going to say? What's mommy going to say? What are my fans going to say? But then I said, I don't know if I'll get an opportunity to do this kind of a role in Telugu. But if I have the opportunity, I should do it. And it was really challenging. And I really want to thank Honey Rose, my co-star at this point, because if without her camaraderie and willingness in being who she is, we wouldn't have been able to create the magic we did. So, and everywhere I go, it's like, Monster is monstrous. I'm like, whoa, okay. You know, it's a niche film. And I'm really happy that I'm being recognized for a role that I was so scared of.
But at the same time, you know, your scenes, you know, in the movie, you know, there are such, you know, good intimate scenes and all. And it's such a bold move, you know, to get into that character. Were you a bit skeptical, a bit nervous, like, you know, how it is going to be? Because you're romancing not an actor, but, you know, a girl for that matter. So how was that?
I didn't really care. She was very pretty. And once the camera rolls, I don't care if it's a dog, a stone, a man, woman, in between, I'll kiss anybody. You know, I don't make such strong rules for myself. I'm an artist first, and I can't let my art through other people's moralities. It has to, I have enough do's, don'ts, rights, wrongs, good, bad. And as an artist, I have to continuously strive to not put myself out there through other people's moralities, because you're never going to make anybody happy there, you know. So.
But how was also, you know, playing the role of a lesbian, because they have their own struggles, be it a lesbian, be it a gay. Even now in India, you know, they are looked upon in a very different way, you know, the moment they confess, you know, if I have friends, you know, who are, who are lesbians and gays, but they only come and say that, you know, we are literally treated in a very different way, you know. We don't like that. We are also like you all only, you know. We just have different feelings, you know, for that matter. And I have seen that, you know, some of them get trolled very badly. They get like harassed literally. So how was that, you know, playing such a role which is very pivotal for that matter?
That's why it was so important for me to play that role, and I empathized with what she went through, and it's a story that needs to be told. I mean, the only thing that brings all of us together is love. You know, we're still fighting between man and woman in this country, religions and castes, and which part of town you're from, and who you can date and not date. So being gay and straight, it's a double-edged sword in this country. I don't know why. I don't know why we can't just accept it all and be okay. Finding happiness is so hard. Just in general, with your job, with your family, with the roads, with the noise. Just life itself is tough. And how is it that somebody else's opinion should matter who you fall in love?
True.
And it for me, it's just logically doesn't make sense. But here we are speaking about it. And so I think as an artist, I'm not here to do movies that will make you feel comfortable. I want to do roles that make you uncomfortable, that make you ask questions, that make you think about, is this really happening? Because art is nothing but imitation of life, right? So how truly can we imitate that? So that's why I was very proud to play a role like that, and to bring that body language by the end of it. So this movie gave me a big range from the beginning, middle to an end. So now if anybody says, do you have a reel? I'll be like, watch Monster. You know?
At the same time, you know, as you said, you know, happiness is one thing, you know, you find it very difficult to get it. And similarly, if you see, you know, in our country, the moment you're happy, and even for normal reasons, it might not be something like, you know, you're actually looking up to someone. Some people actually like, you know, feel like, how come they can be happy in such a situation? What is happening and all?
Yeah.
There is this air which keeps on happening. No, how is it possible in such a serious situation? Also, you know, that person is smiling, or, you know, maybe that's the way, you know, people love to deal with. And I've seen that, you know, when even there are emotions, when, you know, pass by, and even if you are sad but still you know, maintain that smile, they are saying, they have this thought like, how come? How is it possible?
I think in our DNA itself, Samina, it's a very big question that you asked me. I think in our DNA itself, we've been so suppressed for so many hundreds of years. We are not this. You and I are not Indians.
Yeah.
We are completely influenced by our invaders and their thoughts and their suppression. Because if you read about India and the land of Bharat, when it was in its full glory, the entire world came to us to learn freedom, art, culture, education. You know, from Egypt they came to learn from here. From Mongolia, the most, you know, forward race, Mongolians came to learn from us. So tell the same now. I mean, we are running away to go for education. So it's so many hundreds of years of fear of getting out. So it's in our DNA.
Yeah.
But it is also in our DNA to find that happiness, joy, and all of that. So we need to embrace who we are more so. But you know, as you said, it's okay no matter you're happy or sad, because everybody's so sad that looking at somebody happy, they don't understand. But if you're happy and a little bit of that energy penetrates through to other people, that's enough.
Like as I said, you know, when I started this interview, I said that, you know, when I just came over here, I was stressed because I know whether I would reach on time or no, and all that, you know, stress. The moment I saw you, it completely, you know, disappears. Like, oh, you need that positivity around
See,
you. The
you
person,
know what I mean?
that,
Yeah.
you know, someone's aura just changes the room.
Yeah.
It's like that kind of a vibe, and I feel
There are
that
so
is
many people here. One person
Yeah.
walked in, and that's all it is, Samina. You be happy for you. The rest will follow, I feel, because otherwise, I want to be working with Shah Rukh Khan and Amir Khan and all the Khans and the Kapoors. But beyond that, I find happiness. That might happen, might not happen. But here I am, being a woman, being an actor's daughter, breaking these boundaries and able to speak my mind. You know how, do you know just that, how big that is?
Yeah,
For me
of
to have an
course.
opinion and speak my mind and say, this is how I want to live life. So I think we're breaking barriers, and we as
Yeah.
women need to hold our shoulders strong, because we are standing on the women who held the ground strong.
True.
So we just need to be strong for the other women to stand on our shoulders, you know.
And do you also feel it's quite good that, you know, women right now, you know, overall in our country are progressing that way, you know,
Yeah.
keeping that open mind and focused on things, you know, they want to build their careers. They are not like, you know, just stuck in that kitchen area, or like, you know,
Yeah,
just
no,
wanting
no.
to have a family or kids, or like, you know, marriage. Of course, that is also something which they can manage. They're managing both the roles. And do you
They
feel like they are
have to.
multitaskers like that?
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, you're here producing this, making sure the frame is right, interviewing me, making sure the light is right. There aren't other people doing it, so you're multitasking just by sitting right here. Men cannot do that, I'm sorry. You're not equipped to multitask like the way we are. Even when I slack off, you know, not just women wanting to get out of the kitchens. I think it's important for women to push other women to greater heights and to find their authenticity. I'll be in Hyderabad for 2 months and I'll get a call from Rakul saying, when was the last time you were here? When was the last time you did that? When was the last time you did this? You had that meeting, did you follow through? I mean, she doesn't need to do this, you know? And I really feel like I have a great supporter as a woman, as a girlfriend. I have quite a few of those girls in my life, you know, back home too, who are not actors, but be like, how are you doing today? And that's so rare that we, to find that. But I think we should all strive to find those 3, 4, 5 women that you can go about your children's problems, husband's problems, your work problems, but they're all there, not to say leave them, but to be like, how can we fix them in the most healthiest way, you know?
And as you talk about Rakul, you know, I met her at her place only, and I remember she has evolved a lot. You know, she has evolved in terms of her career, the way she talks, the way she presents herself, and you know, that is so good. That is so good. She knows where to draw the line. She knows, nee, this is not what you're going to ask. You're not going to, like, you know, say something about, you know, boycott Bollywood. People have just got into that, you know, stuck over that same question, and she's very clear about it.
Very clear.
She's like, we put so much, you know, mehnat piche, and people don't see that, and sometimes they just, you know, say things and all. And I appreciate that, and at the same time having her as a roommate. How has that been for you?
Oh, she's amazing. I hate the way she turns. Who puts AC in 26, yeah?
Okay.
She does.
Okay.
So when we travel also, we always have the room together, and it's like I sleep where the air falls, you know, she gets the other side of the bed, because I'm like dying with no, I give her the thicker blanket and I'm like, put it on 22 at least, you know.
That's actually
But
good.
but as I told you, even this morning, I was like, I won't have time. I have to get ready by this time. I got to be here at this time. She's like, no. She calculated my time minute to minute, and here I am, earlier than what I expected, you know. So she's incredible. She's one of the most hardworking girls I know, one of the most dedicated girls I know, and I'm really proud to call her my friend. Yeah,
Oh, that's nice. You worked with Mohan Lal, and you know how your experience was of working with him.
Samina, how much time do you have? I mean, this man, I grew up watching his movies. My dad remade his movies, and the movies that he acted in, my dad produced and acted and remade them in Telugu, and they were super duper hits. So I grew up watching him in this awe, right? And I grew up with Rajnikant uncle and, you know, the South superstars. Because my dad's been in the industry for 40 years. But Mohanlal sir is something else. You can talk to him about fashion, talk to him about food, talk to him about diamonds, talk to him about jewelry, talk to him about travel. He's a magician. Like, aise nahi, he gets on stages and performs magic.
Wow. So
For thousands of people. He's a singer. He's the head of Amma, you know, and he's continuously working. I really think there are 3 Mohanlals, not 1. I don't know how this one man does it all, you know, and so humble. So I asked him this question. I said, you know, I only get irritated when things are not happening here, and I'm not the producer. You're the producer, and how are you able to sit chill like this, and how are you able to always maintain this level of sanity and joy? He said, it's simple. I'm happy. From that happy moment, I go to another happy moment. And then from that happy moment, I go to another happy moment. So it's just a cycle. You just be happy. Like, so easily said. How do I do that?
some different happy pill he's on, I'm sure.
I swear. But it was the most, even when we were doing the fight sequences, and it's hard, and this man is a veteran. He was there on set. It wasn't like he was waiting for me to learn it. He was there. Maybe you do it like this, it'll come easier, and was very patient. So I wrote to him saying, okay, enough fighting with you. Now let's romance. Let's do something else. I want to do more Malayalam film and want to be with you, you know.
We also believe you're going to work with your father once again, and this time he's going to be a part of the movie, like as an actor.
Yes.
So how excited are you for this one?
Very-
Are you scared or excited? Because your expression I can see.
I'm so excited.
Because he comes with such a good, you know, like
Not good. He just comes with that zun 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 zun. So there's like the sun walking in with that fire around him. But there were these really sweet moments because I think it's a blur when I was acting with him. I just went off into a zone and a bubble and looking at another actor. So I think only once the movie's over, I can look back and say how I felt about it. but the moments that were really joyful was when they say touch up. There are people coming and touching us both on the frame, and we're having a conversation about something else, about what we're going to have for lunch or something. And there was this epiphany saying it was not even a dream, Samina. There was no chance me acting with my father or me acting in Telugu. So like acting in Telugu itself was like, oh my God, I became an actor here and doing movies. Oh my God, I'm continuing to do so. And every movie I'm so surprised, but I should know by now that yes, I'm an actor and I'm here to stay. But it was those moments that I'm like, you know, when you talk about gratitude and to not stop dreaming. You know, I dreamt of it, but I didn't know how to make it happen. But I was doing other things that will bring that through. And it did. And I guess this is how universe and life works. You know, you just need to keep dreaming and keep doing.
I agree with you completely.
You
The
know?
moment you dream and you make it to reality, that is when you feel it like, okay, something like that has happened. And you know, I go by that word completely and I follow that out. Honestly, I follow your Instagram majorly for your workout videos the most. Like, seriously, how come you're such a fitness freak and you're touch wood, you have maintained yourself so well?
So thank
So
you.
what
Bless
is-
your heart. You made my day.
What is this
I hate it.
trick
Oh,
for it?
I love doing yoga. That I enjoy because when I do yoga,
No, but
I'm
sometimes
like,
it's also like tiring sometimes.
It
I do
is.
yoga, so I know, you know.
it is, but you come out there feeling love for the world. Traffic hone do.
Yeah, that zone.
Birds
Zen
hone
zone.
do. The crows hone do. You know, there's something that it aligns everything, I think,
It
yoga.
makes you zen. It
Yeah.
does make you zen completely. And
So I like that for that reason. But the other workouts, I do it for the same reason that I need to look good. I was very clear when I started my career in America that I did not want to be a head-bobbing Indian actor. I'm a South Indian girl, but how do I crack that, you know? So voice and phonetics and language and accents. And so even when I came back here, because I'm married and with a kid, I have had very big actors, producers, writers tell me, you should put on weight so you'll get character roles.
okay,
I said, no, I will be the best version of myself for me.
true.
And then what is right by me will come to me. I'm not going to fit into anybody's shoes. I got my own shoes
so
to
nice.
fill, you know. Because otherwise somebody or the other is always telling you, your hair is too long, you're too tall, you're too short, you're too thin, there is something too much for them.
Yeah.
But you got to be full for yourself. And then if you want me to put on 50 kilos, like that I'll put on. Have to lose, I'll lose like that. What you need, I feel like I'm water. So if you pour me in a glass, I'll take that shape. You pour me in a bottle, I'll take that shape. So as an artist, you got to be it all.
But she's revealed one thing, which is her workout schedule is because she takes her daughter to the school.
Yeah.
And that is how she ensures that, you know.
Yeah.
I'm sure that chemistry between you and your daughters, that, you know, that's so thick and so, you know. What is that one thing which you feel that, you know, that lesson is something which you want her to learn over the years and all?
I pray, hope that I don't influence her in her thought, mind, or action, which is so difficult. As parents, we want them to do and be a certain way, but I don't want none of that for her. I want her to have the zeal for life and curiosity for life and travel as much as she can. Bas. I'm sorted
I'm
for
also-
what I want for her.
I'm also quite happy to know that you have an NGO. You know, I would like to know more about it because people have, you know, many actors, you know, celebrities like Bollywood and even South have walked the ramp for it. Teach for Change. So tell me
Yes.
something about this.
Oh, thank you
Initiative.
for asking about that. It's my baby. We started this about 10 years ago. And it started off as one school. We will do the compound wall because most government schools don't have compound walls, and that becomes a place for all illegal activities post school time. Alcohol, you would find condoms, used condoms, you know, like. So when we built a compound wall, and we did you know, blackboards, tables, chairs. It was a lot of work to do that thing. And then why am I doing this thing? Are the children learning, getting the education, you know? And that's when we came up with this program where we thought because even a 7th grade student, a government school going student, cannot read a 2nd grade book. That is the plight of our country today. And we have lakhs of government schools. And the government is doing as much as it can, but it can only do so much. So rather than complaining about they didn't do this, they didn't do that, because that's what we do every day morning, the sound pollution, you know, noise, the roads are not done well. There is so much we complain about, but I feel how can we, in what area, help with the government, you know? So I work in government schools because they are our future. So we teach English and leadership qualities for 3rd, 4th and 5th graders. And we go in and we have different verticals of what we do. And we go in and create smart classrooms where we put an LED screen. And we have amazing advisors, starting from, you know, teachers who are at Teachers Without Borders to people who write curriculum for Byju's. A really interesting set of advisors that have come up with how to hold a pencil and how to draw it. You know, do you remember when we used to have activity books? You draw from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, and then you draw, something comes out of it, like a rabbit or a tree.
Mixing the dots, and then, you know, there is a character out of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Simple things like that, that connect you and get you interested. So we create these books, and now we are teaching the government's teachers as well the curriculum, because it used to be a voluntary it is still a voluntary based program, but going into the rural states it's really hard, so we need to teach and train them. So I'm very proud to say I'm a mother of more than 47,000 children that we directly impact, and we are in over 474 schools in all South states and in a couple of northern states as well.
So good. That is so good and commendable, I must say that. You know, it's
Thank you.
Just too good.
And I wouldn't be able to do this. This was just my thought. So I have about 35, 40 actors that walk for me to raise money, called Teach for Change. It's an annual fundraiser, and it's coming up soon again now. So I'm really excited about it. Yeah.
And who would we get to see this year also as well, presenting?
There will be many people. We'll be about 40 actors. We are yet to confirm all of them. And when we do, we will have, every day there will be an announcement of them, yeah.
Since your family is also, you know, politically affiliated, and even, you know, if you have such, you know, strong connections, that's quite good. Would you like to be a part of politics ever?
Tell me the truth. Did somebody tell you to ask me this question?
No, it's come from my own thought.
Really?
I swear. It just felt like, you know, I have to, like, I felt like, you know, maybe would she be interested, because, you know, she is someone who prefers, you know, changing the atmosphere around her, or, you know, maybe the environment, you know, the way she's trying to, you know, and especially when you spoke about your Teach for Change, you know, it looks like, you know, there could be a possibility if you could be a part of that.
I don't know why you say it, Samina, and you're not the first to ask me this. Every time I have an interview, or even people meeting me for the first time, they're like, you're going to get into politics. I'm like, I don't do anything politics. Like, I don't even invite politicians for Teach for Change in terms of when I do the work in the village. But I do invite politicians for the fundraiser, because I want them to know the work we're doing, and so they can be like, okay, come to this village and help us. So we're working with the collectors, and I like to work with IAS officers, because I feel like we get work done quicker than being politically affiliated to, you know, tomorrow somebody else might come into power, and I don't want them to say, don't do the work because you were affiliated with that party. But everybody knows I'm a huge Modi ji's fan, and I think he's really brought in, you know, we would always say, India will never Sudhrofai. I'm sure growing up, we've all said that word. This country is never going to get better. This country.
Yeah.
But I don't feel the same way ever since Modi ji came into power. I feel this country is going places. There's been a real shift, and there's been a real solidarity for who we are, and a unity of who we are as Indians. So I have strong opinions. As long as my work is not affecting, I will do whatever it needs.
But do you somewhere feel, because, you know, since I brought this topic, and this is one thought which I keep on talking about the maximum so many times to my friends and all that, do you somewhere feel that there is one thing which is the need of the hour, is the rape culture in our country, that somewhere needs, you know, some kind of there are strict rules. It's not like it's not there, but somewhere, because as you watch films also, you get to know that unofficially and officially within 8 minutes, one rape case takes place in India. Unofficially there might be many. Do you somewhere feel that maybe that is somewhere where yes, some work should be done? Though the system tries, it's not like the system doesn't try.
Yeah, the system tries it. It's a very, 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 very deep-rooted problem, because you and I are sitting in an AC room with roti, kapda, makan, and a job that feeds us.
True.
And a boyfriend and Tinder and whatever else that is there for us to handle our needs. They are on survival mode.
Yeah.
They're working out of their instinct. Right, wrong. If you're hungry and there is food there and you're going to tell that fellow, don't eat that food because you're a vegetarian, whatever the reason may be, it is a need, a hunger. He's going to go after that food the second you close your eyes. It's the same thing about a man and woman coming together. It is the most natural thing. Like you eat, like you shit, you have sex. It is as natural as that, and we deny it.
It's biological.
Yes,
Yeah.
and the problem arises because we are denying that. We are saying, ye nahi hona chahiye. If you had given them the freedom ki, these are the ways, because it's like, even in Dr. G, there is one scene, वैसे कैसे भी you don't लड़का होने दो.
Yeah.
It's like कैसे भी. She's like, what do you mean कैसे भी? मैं क्या करूँ? कुछ भी करो doctor. So it's like people are not aware.
Yeah.
So the problem, I feel, the need of the hour in this country is not talking about one culture, but talking itself. Awareness. We are not aware. And so when you go and look at these people who are doing these things, come from places where they don't know what love is from their families. They're home runaways. They're working in marginal, low marginal,
Packages,
backward villages and towns. So that's where that is stemming from. So you need to have sex education in schools. Why are we fighting private schools? Private schools are fighting that. It is most important. One of my friend was, he gave his daughter, she's 11 years old now, but he gave her this book when it was 9 about what it is, what does it mean about a man and woman coming together. And I got into a big fight with him. I said, why does she need to know that? She's 9 years old. He's like, what are you denying? And I understood where he was coming from. And this book is written for 7-year-olds. And it talks about how we come together as a jigsaw puzzle, as a man and woman, and when we do, it is beautiful and joyful. I'm like, I don't want a 9-year-old to know how beautiful and joyful. But he's like, yeah, you don't want to teach them it's painful, it's harsh. So if something painful, harsh, and aggressive happens, they know that what they read is not this.
Yes.
But he's this very super intellect who can think like that, but not everybody's thinking like that, you know. So bring in education, bring in awareness, tell the girls. So until Me Too happened, I started crying. I said, oh my God, half the things happened to me only, without knowing. I can't call out on those people because they didn't know that was wrong either. When somebody winks at you, you think, oh, it's cute. But apparently it's rude. Yeah. Somebody whistles at you. We thought, in school or something, you're going up the stairs, you heard boys whistling, you're like, oh, I'm pretty. But that's wrong. Where does that come from? It's
and the kind of praises
culture.
you get sometimes, then you realize like, oh, after Me Too, of course, it makes you realize a lot of things. Is that compliment or is it something else? It's hinting at something else or what?
And that Me Too and do's and don'ts came in a paper.
Yeah.
So we learnt that. So I believe it's all awareness. It is not about one culture. If people are not hungry and they have a home to live in and some love to feel, they don't want to hurt anybody. They're just, they don't even look at a woman as a woman. They look at her as somebody they can release this aggression and this tension that they have, that they don't know where to go about it, At least the women are coming out and saying, men are getting raped by men.
True. That happens.
And because there is
even
no
animals
outlet.
Are not spared sometimes.
Because there is no outlet, there is no awareness, and how do you hold on to this thing, So I think that's what is most important. creating awareness. This country has everything. We have minerals, we have soil, we have rivers, we have trees, we have so many different cultures. What we don't have is awareness.
No, no, but as we talk about this is one thing, of course, that's one chapter. But the positive side is that the country is making noise at the Golden Globes with Triple R.
Not. I'm so excited.
And we all were like, oh wow, that is such a good thing. It's an overwhelming response everywhere.
Yeah.
How does that make you also feel, because South film at the same time, I don't want to get into that comparison zone, but at the same time, of course, there's
I'll
that
say it's
proud
a
feeling.
Telugu film. You can say
Telugu
Bengali, Malayalam. We have, again, so many languages.
It's a Telugu film.
Telugu film, and I had the good fortune of working with Keeravani Garu. I produced a movie with him as the music director, and where I introduced Tapsi as an actress. Her first movie was with my brother. So Keeravani Garu was the music director for it. And it's just magic when you see these. I call him a magician because what they create out of a sarigama padanisa sanidapa magarisa. Whoever it is, they only have to work with those keys, And Rajmouli Garu is not an easy man to work with. All his calmness, you see only his face. But what goes beyond in that mind, and he knows, being first cousins, to push him to get what he needs. And it's a really a proud moment, and it gives us all feathers and bigger wings and wind beneath our wings to fly. So I'm really happy, and I can't wait for them to come back home and for us to create all the noise we want to.
And the noise you are also creating on your social medias with trolling of Pawan Kalyan, and that's been there on Google, and everyone is like, she trolled? What was the sense of humor?
No, I did not troll Pawan
was
Kalyan. So some meme came, okay?
Yeah.
He's doing a karate pose with me in my Kalari Paitu pose. So all I said is, I don't know what this is, but I'm happy to be in the same frame next to him. And of course, people took over. And now in Andhra and Telangana, he's also politically affiliated. So it's just not the other heroes, it's the other political people are also, they just want to say things. But again, I will just be me. I was born in the industry. You can't tell me, I'm a Nepo baby. Underline that. This is a family business. This is all we know. I don't have other businesses. Even if you taught me something else, I wouldn't learn. So I've introduced in every film that I do somebody new, who doesn't have a background in the industry. And that's how we pull in each other and hold each other, right? To bring into this. So it's really hard to balance this being a girl in a man's world, but this is who I am, and who get me will get me, and who don't, it's your loss.
But the same workout sessions, the people have made that 2 frames and those pictures, and it's very lovely to see that, I must say that.
I know, I was excited too. I was like, wow, and it wasn't a romantic picture or something. It was like both of us were in full power mode. So I really enjoyed
And as we talk about trolls, we have also seen that you are quite a firecracker when it comes to giving it back to them, or
hello, I am the
them.
meme queen.
Yeah.
I get worried that if there aren't memes coming on me, I'm like, I need to give them new content, But Elon Musk, I think, said this. So people who own the meme world own the world or something. So I take it very personally. So if there hasn't been a meme on me in a few weeks,
I think it's a compliment. I must say that. Yeah, it is a compliment. And people should understand the sense of humor of memes. I think it's it's not everyone gets that, vibe of it.
I'm a futurist. So I see the future and how it's going to be. So people can't accept me that I accept these things that people are still trying to struggle to hold on to. I'm already accepted, gone further. I'm looking at something else. I'm looking at NFTs right now. That's my world,
Wow. And Bitcoin?
And Bitcoin, can't afford. But creating wealth in other sources. It took me the longest time to get an email. Or I went off Facebook for 3 years saying, the crap. Then as an actor, you had to come back on because social media became such a huge thing. And now Web3, there is a whole nother world already there. It's just up to us how quickly we catch on and catch up with it.
Just the metaverse version of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
it will be quite different basically. I mean, if I have to interview you, I just need that imagination of you altogether.
Yeah,
And it will be such
yeah.
a different world altogether.
Yeah.
But you somewhere feel it's good, no, to see that technology has advanced so much, and India has welcomed it as well. You know, there were times when people didn't even have internet, people didn't even know what internet is. Now, you know, the use
Yeah.
of it is such a good thing.
See, before communication was key for IT industry. When people went to America, they had to, struggled with the language and the accent. But in the world of Web3, you're on drrrr, and your art is shown through, a computer. So the communication is very different.
True.
The Discord, it's so overwhelming, but you'll get there, I guess.
Awesome.
I
Yes.
hope so.
I'm sure. And I'm teaching my mother how to upload reels and all, make reels and all. So she's like, I don't understand. I'm like, no, you have to
You
learn.
have to.
You have to learn. I
Have
said.
to.
Thank you so much for your lovely time.